This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Nathan's gone home. He's got the NBN guys coming. It's the whole thing. But we have a man sitting in his seat.
No, really?
Really. Merrick Watts, welcome back.
Hey, Merrick. Yeah, thanks, guys. That's me clapping.
The crowd's gone wild.
That is me clapping on my own.
You look amazing, by the way. We'll get to that in
mate.
a second. But yeah, so Nathan and Nat, both being single people, they've had...
We don't have wives at home to wait for tradesmen. So I had a dryer being delivered, and you know how they give you a window? And I'm like, I have most of the day free. Surely the dryer's going to come in the afternoon. No, 7:35 to 10:35.
What a dumb company. You wanted a dryer and they gave you a window? Yes. Like, it's very clearly, I want a dryer. Man. Sorry. Sorry, it's Father's Day on Sunday, and I've opened up the toolkit there, so you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. So Nathan's getting his NBN done at some stage this morning,
Is
but
that
they kicked
is that
off.
a type of hairstyle? Is that where they bleach his hair? He's getting his NBN done?
Yeah, shaves at the back.
Good on him.
It's good to have you back,
It's
Merrick.
great to be here. Thank you very much for
What's
having
been
me
going on? So you're here doing some shows.
Yes.
Shall we'll get the plugs out of the way first. What do you reckon?
Painful.
So-
Shows at the Record Bite, An Idiot's Guide to Wine, Volume 2, whatever, sold out shows, whatever.
Moshchicks.com.au, but selling fast. Most of the shows sold out.
Tonight sold out. Tomorrow night sold out. There are some tickets for the matinee at 2 p.m. That's the
matinee.
best time to go drinking, by the way.
Absolutely.
Day drinking's amazing. Last time I was here in Perth, I did a show. It was sold out. It was 12 p.m. at the Record Bite, completely sold out. We started the show at 11:55. What are you doing, Perth? Like, there's people with coffee in their hands. I go, are you all right? And they're going, no, I'm ready to roll into this drinking thing. Let's do it. This is great.
It's Saturday.
Yeah, it's
enough.
That's it. By 4 p.m, I was throwing a bin through a window on Northbridge. It's a good time.
That's
Same
a
old,
perfect thing
same
to
old.
do. Mate, you look amazing. So you've come in here with a suit, and when we saw you on the video cameras, we didn't know who was coming in.
It was James Bond. That's what you
We
thought.
thought it was
much
one of
so.
our senior executives had flown in from Sydney to fire somebody.
As if they dress this well. As if they can afford this suit.
Yeah.
They can't, because I took all the money from Nova years ago. It's not left.
Yeah, you know what?
Russell and I took it all.
We're still feeling that.
You know what? We've been feeling so lately. When we had our mid-season break, and Nat went up to Vietnam. She got all these wonderful clothes,
Yes.
right? And she's
Tailor-made
bringing it
up
all
there.
the time, every day. Now you're bringing it. The only thing I could muster last week was I went and bought this jumper for $80. I got 20% off.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good looking jumper. What is it? What does it say, Florence? Is
Florence.
That, yeah, it's
As
good.
in John.
What's John? Is John
John
brand?
Florence.
But it was on sale, so I thought, okay, I'll try to lift to Natalie's level.
So you
just-
bought it because it was on sale.
Yeah.
I'll just give you my mum's phone number and you guys can chat about buying things on sale. Mum would love to
So
chat
to be
about
clear, this grey hoodie is you lifting?
Yeah, I thought it was an opportunity to lift, and this is the level I've got to at this point in time.
that. Nah, mate, you're all right. I think you're doing okay. Nat, you're very well dressed.
Thank you.
You've turned out very nicely today.
Thank you.
And all these years of Breakfast Radio at this level too, working at this and such a high rating show for so many years, and you don't look like you're burnt out. Like you can.
Oh, no, I am.
I mean, Sean is.
I just don't look like it.
You're doing a great
No
job.
mirrors
What
at
have you
my
done?
house, mate, I can tell you.
I can see. That's evident. Absolutely evident.
Because you're an example of what life can be like post-breakfast radio.
Well, I still do breakfast radio hours. I still wake up at I was up at 4 this morning.
See, this mystifies me. That given the choice, you are still doing this. Is this what SAS Australia did to you?
100%. It damaged me mentally in so many ways. Like everyone goes, wow, you've really benefited. You've become a real weapon. I'd like to be asleep now if it's possible, but I can't.
So are you just
damaged
constantly
me.
terrified someone's going to throw a bag over your head and berate you?
It's constant. When I came off SAS Australia, this is absolutely true, right? So I was on 2 weeks on the show. If you haven't seen it, it's brutal. Anyway, after 2 weeks of being on the show, I came home and every single night for a week, I would wake up at least 4 times in
Oh, really?
pouring the sweat, waiting for somebody to kick down the door and come into the room. It took a week and a million prescribed drugs from the doctors to bring me down, because I was like a rogue rhino there for a while. But then again, I was like that before I went on the show.
Yeah.
So I just need to be
And
sedated.
to be fair, you made it all the way through. So you fulfilled
I
that.
didn't make it all the way through. I won it.
Barely mentioned it.
Semantics.
So, Mary, when you got up this morning, did you put the wheels on and go for a run or something?
I went to the gym this morning. Yeah, but I'm going to go and do a park run tomorrow, I reckon. I'm going to have a crack at a park run here in Perth. Yeah, I want to get out there and have a little bit of a trot.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I'm going to head down to Freo, I think, and have a look around and go see some friends, catch up
They
with
do
some
a
people.
park run in Freo down at South Beach. You could do it there.
it's a great spot. So, yeah, out and about, getting active. So I usually exercise in the morning, bit of meditation, do that work. It's good for your brain.
Yeah, I know. I've been reading a lot about it, the breath work and stuff like that.
Sean could do with that.
You got to have the patience, though.
No, I don't have the patience. I just pretend I do, because if I say I meditate to people, they just go, "Wow, he's really switched on."
Do you do speed
Because otherwise people
meditating?
just go, speed meditating? I never do speed and meditate. Never. No. I mean, I'll go out to a party or something,
it's
sure, but
efficient.
not meditating. It seems counterintuitive.
Gets it over and done with faster.
I haven't even had a coffee this morning. This is what I'm like. I know.
Far out.
This is. Wait till I'm going
mind-boggling.
to go and have like a double espresso after this, and then I'll probably, I don't know, take a rocket ship to the moon.
We had an astronaut in earlier, so yeah.
We did actually.
Stop
Cover that
bragging.
off.
Stop bragging. I know. I saw the moonscape behind me. I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, is that for me?" No, it's not for you. It's for an astronaut. Somebody who benefits the community. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you talk about wine. That benefits the community.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We're graced, blessed indeed with the presence of none other than Greg Hire, our old friend.
It's amazing.
Hey, Greg,
Looking
good to see you,
as
mate.
fit as ever.
You do.
I'm telling you, I've been here for a while. This place has been upgraded.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
I
Thank
know.
you.
Like Metros,
You
isn't
deserve it.
Yeah, it's like I explained.
Strobe
The
lights.
interior is like if a bogan comes into money, because you know what our lounge room needs some lighting, some of that
And
blue
more
neon lighting.
screens.
Did you go after a night out at Connections and go, whatever there is there, I'm replicating?
The only difference is
Yeah.
Sean's usually on the pole at this time, just over in the corner. You puzzle me because I do know you so well and we're such good friends. But this whole personal challenge thing that Greg does, and it comes from such a
Well, Sean's
pure.
one of these people too.
Yeah, when it's for his own charity, it comes from such a pure place that people don't realise. When did you make the decision to do this bike ride? When did you make that decision? Tell everyone.
The exact moment was after enjoying myself immensely after New Year's Day. Was sitting there in my own self-pity thinking, what am I doing with life? And then thought I'll go around a few laps around the river loop around my house.
Yep.
In Joondalup, or not in Joondalup, but did that.
Yep.
Got home, said to my wife, I reckon I'm going to ride far. Like Forrest Gump, about
Yes.
just cycle, and said I'm going to ride, from Kununurra down to Perth. She said, "No, you're not." And then later in the week,
This is hungover, by the way.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I felt great at that moment after
Doing a couple of laps?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple of laps, and then we decided to go down to Rockingham later that week. And I said, I'm going to ride down to Rocco.
Yes.
She said, why? And I said, well, if I'm going to do this ride, there's going to be moments along the way where I'll have absolutely no interest of doing it, but I want to see how do I respond.
So you thought you're going to go somewhere we have no interest in.
No,
Rockingham.
I wanted to go to Rockingham, but I wanted I had
So
no
that
prep
ride
work.
is straight down
Yeah.
the side of the freeway.
Yeah.
It's
And
not.
then
It's not a
I
lot of
wouldn't
fun.
even know
No.
how to
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
It was
Do you just ride?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
There's a path that goes all the way
everything.
down the
It
freeway.
was the
Yeah.
worst ride in the world because for the first 50 Ks, I was loving life. Things
Yeah.
were going well. I ran out of water. It was significantly hot. It was about 42 degrees, so I had to reapply
What did you do
sunscreen.
with your water when you ran out of water?
Oh, I stopped off at BP, grabbed some
Were you
stuff.
like cracking cactuses open?
Mate, it was like the salt residue on my
Yeah.
was just disgusting. And so then I got a puncture. So I called Ainsley, hey, pick me up. And she said, oh, I'd love to. She was worried. And then as I was walking back, I found a bike shop. So I was like, nah, I'm in. And so I ended up getting it fixed, did the 85 Ks, got done. I was like, I'm in. We're doing this. And that was
wow.
the best thing in the world.
So what is it exactly that you're doing?
So I'm riding. Look, it's 3,249 kilometres, but it's extended over the last period of time, just because there's more and more regions or communities that have
Yes.
said, hey, can you come through?
So you're starting in Kununurra.
Starting in Kununurra on
and then
Thursday.
You're riding your bike,
Cycling from
a push bike,
Kununurra, yes.
a non-e-bike.
No, non-e-bike, I can guarantee
All the way
that.
from Kununurra. It's a really
Yeah.
long way, Greg, and it's hot up there. You know that, right?
Yeah, and windy, so that doesn't help. So it's about 100 to 130 Ks a day on average. Longest day is 196 Ks.
Greg,
love-
it's
it's
a big
outstanding
day.
to be able to put yourself through this. These are the things that I love to hear about and do.
Yeah.
Why was this number, the distance, so significant?
Yeah, you're right, Sean. I think the challenge in itself is obviously I'm the same. Once you retire, you're sort of looking for something that's going to
fulfill
test
you.
it. Yeah, absolutely. And the kilometres cycled is the lives lost to suicide in Australia in 2022. So for me, I think there's a really strong, powerful connection, obviously, with the work that we do in that space, mental health and suicide prevention. And don't want to be
it's important, mate.
Yeah, in that morning. But I think that's a really contrasting reminder for me every day as I'm cycling, or each K resembles that. And it's been
Yeah.
really powerful. One of our donations we received Apologies. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Yeah, it was someone just acknowledged someone that they lost and sort of said, look, if I can donate in remembrance of them, a really special piece. So
Yeah.
far out.
This is the thing
That's
that
great,
when I explained to Greg, when I explained about Greg how personally connected he is to this, we do a lot of things with people from charities, and I look at it and I go, are you really connected? You know what I mean? But just knowing him and what he puts into this and how much he loves it and lives and breathes it, I'm just so proud of you. So
thanks, man.
But I've got a question that might just clear this emotion up. Can you give me some of the country towns? List some of the country towns.
Yeah, Cunnanerrook, down to Broome, Halls Creek, Carnarvon.
Yeah. So my thing is, do you have a plan for if the bike gets stolen?
I do have 3 bikes.
Okay.
So
I think you might need a 4th.
for the obvious reason, I actually struggle to change a tyre.
I mean, that's
Your
a
little
fairly
bucket of water.
elementary skill. Why don't you know how to do this?
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun in podcast form.
Tim's in Bull Creek. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hey,
Good,
good,
Tim. Who did you hire and how bad a job did they do? And then did you pay them?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago we had a leak in our pool. So we found this guy and got him out and he's walked in with a Woolworths bag. Sort of thought, what's going on here? So he's gone out the back and I've walked in and my partner's got this really puzzled look on her face and he's stripped down to his underwear.
Yeah.
He's jumped in the pool and he's just like swimming around the pool in his underwear, duck diving. It's hilarious. And he didn't fix the leak either.
Did he just come over for a dip and leave?
Yeah.
In his jocks.
Came around with his towel.
Yeah, the bad news is he took a leak in your pool.
Did you get a bill? Did you get a bill for that?
Yes.
How much does he charge for that service?
It's about $400.
So before we find out if he paid it or not, was he basically diving under and then like using Tarzan grip or something to try or sell his?
Was he looking for the leak?
Yeah, he was. I think he was.
Okay, so what did you pay? Did you pay him?
Yeah, we paid him.
You paid him
Tim!
What's with the plastic bag?
for his wet wet jock, Shaun.
And his tools, maybe. I'm not sure.
They use a dye to see where it leaks through the cracks, like a coloured dye in the pool. And
So
what
that
you
was
say,
in his
a plastic
bag.
that's all he had.
In his Coles bag?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you, Tim.
Have you had the experience at one of your mum's 8 pools at her house?
Harry used to work
On the
at a pool
expensive-
shop.
Yeah, I'm the pool expert, remember? The resident pool
He's
expert.
the pool guy.
Christine.
And he's got the mustache to prove it.
Yes, he has.
Christine's in the Angela. Hi, Christine.
Hi, how are you?
Hey,
Great,
Christine.
Christine. Okay, talk to us about who you hired and how bad a job they did.
Yeah, quite a few years ago I moved into a brand new house, sparkling clean. No one's ever lived in it before. And we hired a electrician type person to put in some mobile data type cabling.
Yep.
Drilled this great big huge drill through our study and it went, and I could hear this, the concrete sound, and then all of a sudden this sharp pinging sound. And I'm trying to tell him, stop. But he's like, no. And he kept going, and he was actually drilling through my tiles in the ensuite.
Christine.
Also a bit of a peephole into the bathroom, eh?
And right in the shower too.
There goes
So
your
when I tried to
waterproofing.
tell him and say, this is going to cost you a lot of money, he's like, oh yeah, you'll have to get yourself a tiler to fix it. And I'm like, what? No, you're going to fix it. So he started having a fight with me about it.
No.
Finally, his dad, who owned the company, came round and had a look at it and said, yeah, no, that's true. No, we'll fix it. But the thing was, he actually did the job with his friend. And while he was waiting for his dad to come, he couldn't start his car. So they were stuck at the front of our house.
Just sitting there.
Just sitting there waiting for
After
for the
installing
boss to
a
come.
glory hole in your bloody shower. To be honest, is
Yeah.
what they did.
It's quite a feature.
And I thought, I'm not even going to offer you any drinks or anything. You can stay out there in the sun and cool.
Amazing. Thanks, Christine.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun in podcast form.
The NBL basketball season is fast approaching, everyone. We're going to have the NBL Blitz over here in WA, which is good
Hoopfest.
news.
Yes.
Well, we've started to see on the news that the Wildcats roster is almost taken shape for this season coming up. We've also got a new owner of the Perth Wildcats, Mark Arena. Mark joins us now. G'day, Mark.
Hey, everyone. How's things?
Hi, Mark. We love your sister Tina, firstly. I just have to say she's amazing.
No relation. Sorry, no relation.
Mark, I was pissing myself laughing when I saw you at a press conference and they were talking about, what you're going to do to the Wildcats and how you're going to change them and how you're going to make them better, and you had one plan. What was your first initial plan? Let everyone know.
Fix the Wi-Fi.
Fix the Wi-Fi, which I love about you.
It is bad in there too, I've got to say. And how are we supposed to post our selfies if we can't get on the Wi-Fi?
So that wasn't. So people got confused. It wasn't the RSC Arena Wi-Fi. Sorry, I can't fix that.
What Wi-Fi was it for?
It's the Wildcats office at Bendar Basketball Centre. Happy to report though, it's all fixed.
It's all done.
This
you
is
are
the
a tech
difference.
guru. So,
that's right.
Hey, Mark, what was the interest? I mean, obviously you've been a basketball fan and all that kind of stuff. Did it bother you that the Wildcats weren't in WA hands, and is that why you try to step in?
No, not at all. I mean, I heard some narrative about that. It was just, I thought, I was looking at what am I going to do next in my kind of business career, and I didn't want to do a kind of technology or cybersecurity startup again. I was exhausted.
Yep.
And obviously I read some of the news about, SEN, the kind of previous owner of the Wildcats, and some of the debt issues they had. And I thought it was good timing, and I reached out to Hutchie and had a chat late last year, and one thing's led to another, and here we are.
It's an amazing story.
You own a basketball team.
It's so cool.
This is like rock star stuff.
Yes.
This is like things that happens in America with all the celebrities, and you've done it here, Mark Arena, Tina's brother.
Yeah, definitely. I'm super excited with the group and what we're doing, and we're off to Japan at the end of the month for a pre-season trip. So first time ever any NBL team's ever been there. So it's going to be good. I'm, pushing the team here to create some crazy content for social media, so look out for that.
You're going to be all about that with obviously your experience in the tech area, but how are you going to bring any knowledge into what you want the Wildcats to stand for? And at the end of the day, it's all about winning, isn't it?
I think it's more than that. I mean, it's winning and community impact at the top level. We need to have both, and challenging on the winning side is, we've absolutely crushed it. If you think of 10 years ago, Wildcats were massively successful. The league itself was a basket case back then, and it's a lot better and a lot more competitive. So, we still want to win, and, we are the most supported team. It's us versus the East, let's be honest. I've already noticed that in the first week. Community impact-wise, I mean, the Wildcats does a huge amount in the community. It's not tracked or communicated well. I'll give you an example. I just, before I'd even taken over, my daughter's school wanted to see if the Wildcats could donate something, and I was like, hey, can we get something? And they gave me a ball signed by the whole team, and I was like, whoa. Yeah. So, there's a lot of stuff that's just unreported, and it's very, very positive stuff in the community.
They always have been very good at it, but as you said, that it's not communicated broadly. Mark, how much influence are you going to have over actual running of the team and selections and signings and things like that?
So there's a team here led by Danny Mills, who's the general manager of basketball operations. I can't add any value in that area, to be honest. I'm a rubbish basketball player. I don't know much about that. Obviously, I'm across it from a, business perspective, but, my value add is not there.
It's in fixing the Wi-Fi, fixing
the Wi-Fi, I'm the head of IT, multi-hat.
I love that.
Mark Arena, Tina's brother, I want to know, how do you get to a place, because you're quite young, how do you get to a place where you can buy a basketball team at your age? What's your story?
So my background's technical, so I worked as a programmer after studying at ECU here in Perth. And moved over to Canberra, ended up working as a technical specialist at the Federal Police. My unique skill is tracking bad guys online, so cyber criminals.
Oh, like on Hunted?
And hackers.
Hackers.
Exactly. I know what you've been looking up.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We've got something to talk about that's very, very important.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you.
Come on, David. Is that boss David? Sing it.
Realize what you gotta do.
Come on.
No, I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
The website crashed. The Oasis website crashed with the world news that Oasis have put their dramas aside. Bullshit. And they're going to do the concert. So this is huge.
This is huge.
Now remember, our boss David is in here for a reason, but we're going to just do a little bit of a history on Oasis. So they were doing a festival in 2009, and then it all went pear-shaped. This is Noel talking a couple of years later about what went down in the dressing room with Liam and why he was Splitsville.
He went to his own dressing room and he came back with a guitar and started wielding it like an axe. And I make light of it because it's kind of, it's kind of what I do. But it was just a real unnecessary, violent act.
Okay, that was 13 years ago, him talking about the experience 2 years after it happened. 6 years ago, Noel went on a podcast and was asked about his brother, and then the podcast guy said, your brother is going to be on here a little bit later. And
you got something to say to him?
Yeah, I had some messages.
He can lick my balls. I don't give a
said to him 6 years ago.
It's still relevant today. Yeah, you know when they say money was worth this much then and now it's not? No, that's still...
But no, apparently this is going ahead. David McClung,
hello.
What did you do yesterday?
I booked accommodation for London. What? Straight away. I did it within about 3 minutes.
It's going to be so huge, David.
Yeah.
David,
massive.
It's so not going to happen.
It's going to happen. No, it's going to happen.
How do you know? Okay, so this is the reason why it's even being entertained. Liam went through a divorce, cost him a lot of money, and now they need money. So then Noel and that apparentry agreed that, they're going to do this concert.
I think it's £50 million.
That's
50 million each.
And then also, remember, because there's no... it's not going to be televised, so they'll, of course, do a Taylor Swift. They'll put a documentary crew in there.
Will.
Then that's probably another 50 million.
Yeah.
That's a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
So, why this?
I don't know. So I was a massive Oasis fan, which I ran an Oasis fan site.
You didn't tell us this before.
Yeah.
Did you?
So I ran an Oasis fan site. But yeah, I
what
was
do you
obsessed
mean
with
you
them.
run an Oasis fan site?
Okay, you chucked it up there.
Yes. So
and then what people?
Yeah. So people joined it, and it became pretty big in the 90s.
What do you mean? How
many? What do you mean?
There's probably a few hundred at least. I can't
that's
remember.
huge. In the
Were
90s.
you replying back to people's statements and questions? And, no.
Yeah, it was kind of you'd put Oasis news up there.
Yeah. Yes.
I'd do opinion pieces.
Like on what?
Oh, just
Like
on
on
the
a
new
song?
albums and stuff like that. And
People were up again. People
leaks.
loved it. You were their go-to site for Oasis news.
Yeah, I genuinely got my first job from that fan site because...
On radio, really?
No. It was my first job was as a web developer.
Yeah.
And that's how I got that.
No way.
Yeah.
Did you have Oasis-themed recipes and things on your website?
What would be a recipe themed?
Wonder balls. Some rissoles, maybe?
On the spot, that was really good.
Hey, can I just say that this is starting a lot of fights, right? All the Oasis fans are getting upset, and this is some of their comments. I'm wincing at all the under-25s jumping on the Oasis bandwagon. If you didn't live through this the first time, you've got to sit this one out for the dads and the ageing indie kids. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Another one, if Oasis get back together, I hope the tickets are bought by people who want to be there and they love music, not, 21-year-old Chloe from Stockport who wants to hear Wonderwall live. Do you feel that way?
I highly doubt there's people under 25 buying tickets to it, but...
Well, it's a moment in time. People just get swept up and being a part of it.
Yeah, I'll be so annoyed if I can't get tickets.
Yeah. So, David, quickly, so Oasis, is there anyone else in the world that you would drop everything to go and see?
Lining me up for this. Celine Dion.
Everyone, yes, he's gay.
So if we wanted to have you exit the building for a couple of weeks, we'd buy you Celine Dion tickets to Las Vegas and stuff. Is she back performing?
How
in
were
Vegas,
you
no?
with her at the opening ceremony?
That's the only bit of the Olympics
And
I watched.
what were you feeling?
I was quite emotional.
Very good.
Oh, anyway, that's that.
Oasis
That
and
is the
Celine.
guy that runs this joint. Him.
He can lick my balls.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat, and Shaun.
It's great to catch up with boxing champion Harry Garside. He's got a book out. It's called The Good Fight.
Hey guys, how you going?
Well, that snuck up on us. You know what? You don't just sit here normally and then suddenly Harry Garside's
I know,
speaking to you live.
but I feel like we've seen Harry's face so often that he's part of the furniture.
Sean,
in your life.
I'm going to say I feel like I know Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Harry. Nice to meet you.
We all do know each other spiritually or something. That's what my mum would say.
I don't know.
We're very connected.
I really loved. I mean, the first time we learnt all about you at the games, I just love the story that you were telling, and I just love the fact that you, I don't know, sort of spitting in the face of gender roles and showing what a man can be in many colours. And I really appreciate that you did that, Harry, because there are more crowns in the box than the big masculine ones.
Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, Harry, we are talking to you. Of course, you got your book out, Harry Garside, The Good Fight, and this was obviously been put together for quite some time. Let's get straight into the games that have just passed over the last couple of weeks. Mate, to see you on Channel 9 straight after you lost your first bout and see that raw emotion, geez, that was just cut through everyone.
It was brilliant, actually, to see.
Yeah, the highs and lows of sport. I definitely feel the sporting arena for me has definitely been the place. I don't know if it's because I don't have kids yet, but it's definitely the place where I feel the most raw and authentic and real emotions. And it's very primitive. Obviously, boxing is a primitive and archaic sport, but that to watch that interview back, even still now, it sort of takes me back and it gives me sort of shivers when I watch it. But yeah, the highs and lows of sport, sometimes things don't go the way you plan, but it's always our decision what we do next, and just trying my best to look after myself as best I can, especially over the next couple of months.
But also, I think there was something in there. What you said was, I think the media need to take responsibility for that. And you were like, oh my God, what are people going to think? What's coming next? And I think that part of that was towards the media and what people were going to say. And instead of Australia's like wrapped you up in a warm hug. But I do think the media really should look at that and look at the people behind the things that they're doing.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because I do recognise that we are animals, and I think it's really important to sort of like be connected to the tribe and care about people's opinions, and as long as it doesn't cripple your life. I feel like at times, especially putting myself in the arena at such a mass occasion like the Olympics, I think it is absolutely my duty to be prepared for that. But it is 100% like you're putting yourself in the arena. There's thousands of people who can critique you, and you're scared, you're terrified of that, right? But it is also my choice. I chose to do that, right? And I had this like weird epiphany the day after. I'm so grateful it happened so quickly, because I was feeling flat. I was feeling sort of really low about myself, and I just remembered that like there's people in the world who are genuinely struggling, and we all, and even in our society in Australia, like you don't have to look too far with obviously the cost of living crisis, and there's people struggling to put food on their table, and here I am complaining and feeling bad about losing a sporting event. Yes, I care. Yes, I need to honour my emotions, but it's like...
Yes, it was in Paris.
It's like, I chose this. I chose this.
It's good perspective, isn't it?
Well, with those the most invested have the most to lose. So you're fully in, and you've put a lot into this. I was wondering about, in reflection, when you got the opportunity to fight that guy first up in round, did you know how long did you know before you got the opportunity to fight him? Because all he did is stand back and counterattack you when you were forcing the fight. And did you have a plan that just didn't come off on the night?
Yeah, it was so, like, you obviously know everyone that's in your division. You find out about 3 days before the first fight who you're going to fight.
All right.
And I had done my research on everyone in my division, and I'm sure everyone in that division did the same thing, right? It's the Olympic Games. But I haven't thought too much about the fight, but I just know that I don't know. It's like I was like in autopilot. It's so hard to explain. It's like I felt it. I felt it just going out of my hands, and I felt like I had no control of it. I felt like it was really frustrating being in that as a high performing athlete. But I can critique my performance, and I will. It's inevitable. You have to do that. You have to really be honest and give yourself critical feedback when you're in a better place. And that's why I refuse to sort of think about it now, because I am a little bit negative.
Hey, Harry, just an insight onto the book. Obviously, we get to see your upbringing and the way things move through your life. Where did you get the inspiration to be a boxer? As Nat said, mate, you're well educated.
You could have done anything.
You're an unbelievable speaker, and sometimes it doesn't go hand in hand with that kind of sport.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think I am all of that because of boxing as well. So it's a massive part of my story, and the book is very much about like this search for masculinity. I felt like my masculinity constantly got questioned. What do you see on movies? You see bloody Rambo. You see these action figures who are tough and strong, and I felt like I just didn't measure up. So even starting the sport of boxing was in a search for my manhood, to gain respect from the males in my life. And in that, I feel like I have grown into the best version of myself, which I'm super grateful for.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun podcast.
It's like we've got space royalty
We have.
in the studio. Welcome the first Australian female astronaut, Catherine Bennell-Pegg. Thanks for coming in, Catherine.
Thank you. Good morning.
We met you a few weeks ago,
We did.
but we spoke to you sort of from, you were over east somewhere, and we're like, when you come to Perth, we'd love for you to come in. And you actually did.
She's
Thank
the
you.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer of the stars. It's so amazing. I talked to you before you came in, and I said I love a powerful woman that is changing the landscape, and that's what you're doing right now. Australia has never been more interested or spoken about space more, and it's because of you.
Wow, thank you so much. I mean, it's so great to be here in Perth and get out across this city and across WA and meet many other powerful women and people working in space here. There's so much happening, and it's such a thrill to be here.
Catherine, we're very excited just to see you in your jacket at the moment. There's Australian Space Agency on it, the badge is on it. And, when we've seen you on the news and when we spoke to you, I think you were wearing a jumpsuit. So I know these are basic questions. How many jumpsuits have you got? And have you got a whole heap of merch that I would imagine if people come over your house, you'd be trying to steal something?
I'd steal something from your house.
Oh, yeah, I have 2 jumpsuits and 1 jacket, but they're so comfy. It's like wearing PJs all day.
This
so
is my thing.
any
It's like
excuse,
a snuggie,
honestly.
basically. It's like a onesie. It's like a onesie.
It's a onesie with lots of pockets and, with the Australian Space Agency logo on it, which is amazing, and the Aussie flag on the shoulder, which makes me very proud. So, yeah, it's an honour to wear that.
Now, I didn't realise, and this is the thing about space exploration, having an Aussie, with a chance to go up into space is so huge because it makes students go, wait, that could be me. Because right now I don't feel like Australians feel like they're in with a shot.
No, agreed.
Joseph Banks Secondary College here in Perth, they've done a $20 million building fit out with a purpose-built space centre here in Perth. Did you know that?
Phenomenal. I'm getting out there today to speak to the students, and I can't wait.
Wow.
I love speaking to students and I'm fascinated by their curiosity. 7 out of 10 Aussie kids want to be astronauts, which blows my mind and shows the power space can have to help draw more young people through to STEM careers that, quite frankly, we need in this country to help solve the greatest challenges.
Because even if they don't go to space, there's still a lot of science supporting it.
Hugely,
that can make a big difference.
And some kids are pulled through to STEM careers because they love space and look around and find they like ocean science, and that's great too. You can. It's a gateway to all kinds of science.
Catherine, what gives you? You've done all the training and you're an astronaut. When do you know that you're a chance to go to space? How does it work? How do you get on the tap on the shoulder? Is there a list?
Yeah, so there's about 100 active astronauts with the qualification I have worldwide, and Australia is the only country that's not a space station partner nation to have a professional astronaut. So it's wonderful to have this opportunity.
Yeah.
So I've just graduated from 13 months of basic astronaut training, and it's at the end of that I can call myself now an astronaut, ready for being assigned a mission to the space station or beyond. But
who picks the missions?
So the International Space Station and the Moon are the 2 destinations that humans usually go to today, and there's a big international panel that determines mission assignments, but ultimately it's up to your country to decide if they want to have a science program, an education program, and the astronaut go forward with that.
I do feel like you're going to get up there soon though, because we're in Eurovision, Australia.
Yeah, that's true.
We've got no right to be there,
that's true.
Because I think they wanted to include Australia, and I think Australia, I think you're going to go up soon.
Well, Australia's absolutely punching above its weight in space, and so we're continuing that trend. And when I was in Europe this year, I very felt much like I was in Eurovision with all the Europeans I was training with. But no, it's a great opportunity, and I'm very honoured to have this chance.
Now, the big story in space at the moment, of course, is the 2 astronauts who are stranded up there. So when we're watching that, going, oh, that seems awful. They thought they were going for a week, and they really don't know when they're coming back, but it's sometime in 2025. The reality is these things can happen, and you can be... How do you get your head around that? Because that's a long time. They're up there for a long, long time.
Yeah, being an astronaut is a job that involves risks. And as part of our training and selection, we learn how to deal with uncertainty. We go through how we would manage all of the different risk scenarios that could happen. And one of them for these 2 crew members was that they would be in space for a much longer period of time. And so while they're up there, they're prepared with plenty of food, and they're contributing as the science and as active members of the crew.
How much food is there? Like, at what point does it run out? Because presumably it's not an endless supply.
There's resupply frequently going up up there on a bus stop schedule.
So
Plus,
like
they've got
Uber Eats.
reserves.
So-
yeah, there's a lot of food up
So
there.
they can't jump on one of those and go back?
No, I'm afraid not. Those ones burn up in the atmosphere
No.
after
Oh,
they're
damn it.
used. But
No, it's just a guy on a moped.
So, Catherine, just for us, how many times, I mean, because we only know that people go up there every so often, but how many times does an unmanned ship head up to the space?
It's relatively
station?
frequent. There's a number of different vehicles. Well, every 3 months, you've usually got a new human crew going up, and
Okay.
interspersed with that is a supply ships, which aren't just about food and water and air, but they're also full of scientific experiments and things like that go up. And when they come back down and burn up in the atmosphere, they take the waste away, like astronaut poo, for example.
Yeah, right.
Now,
Good to
so the two stranded astronauts that are up there now, the female seems to not have packed a scrunchie. In every single video shot, her hair is everywhere. Do you have to tie your hair back?
Is there a standard issue scrunchie as part of the
Like, do
uniform?
you have to? Because think about it, with food safety you do for hygiene,
yes.
but then I was thinking hair getting in buttons and stuff.
I think
What's
it's
the
part
deal?
of the fun of it to have wild hair up there.
Hers
But
is
gosh,
wild.
it would be hard to brush out. But yeah, you've got to be really careful with stuff like that. Like things like cutting your nails.
Yeah.
If
Yes.
you don't catch the nails, they might end up in your mate's eye.
Yes.
You can't eat food that crumbs.
No crumbs, no
yeah.
cake.
No cake.
cake,
If
no
there's
sponge.
crumbs, if it's
Pastry.
nice and
dense cake, like a mud
yeah,
cake?
like a mud cake could be pretty good.
Or like a
Chocolate mousse is
sponge,
up
no.
there. Yeah, that'd be dangerous. There's no like kind of powdered salt and pepper.
Yeah, right.
But there's liquid forms. So
No
Yeah.
cracked black pepper.
No,
I
Nathan.
wouldn't be able to go.
Nathan's out.
I have
He's
done
out.
everything.
dreams over.
I can't remember if we asked you this before. There's no showering. Is there showering?
No showering in space, and usually an astronaut's up there for 6 months at a time. But you do have sort of a wet wipe situation,
Yep.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you can wash your hair and
Jeez,
like
the
towel
first
it off.
shower must be good.
But you're all in it together.
Yeah. So
So
on
the
that,
wet wipe situation is what teenage boys do.
Yes.
If that.
it's a camping thing as well. But when this situation where there's the two astronauts up there, do they teach you skills? Like, what if you just have a falling out? Like, do they teach you skills psychologically on how to get along in these scenarios?
Yeah, human behaviour and performance training, it's
Yes.
called, is a big part of our training. And it's about how do you build teams quickly, build trust in a team. And when you go to space, you've trained with those people usually for a couple of years beforehand, and you've ironed out all
Any
of those
differences?
issues. And it's kind of like having housemates you can't escape from living in a caravan for 6 months. So it's really important for safety
like the Big
and
Brother house,
productivity.
isn't
Yes.
it?
It is. There's a lot of cameras up
Except
there.
nobody gets voted out.
Do you have any TV?
On Friday nights on the space station, there's often a movie night. And, yeah.
amazing.
But my question for that is, do you have Netflix? Can you stream up there? Do you have the internet? Can you go
'Cause you're
online and
closer
buy
to the
something on
satellites.
Amazon?
Yeah, you don't have sort of real-time internet in that way, but there is like Wi-Fi in the station, and people upload, movies and newspapers to relax. Often while you're in the gym, up there 2 hours a day to keep your bones and muscles healthy.
Yeah.
So that's part of your relaxation and your team bonding.
But you can't access your Netflix, so you can't go up there with an iPad and then press Netflix.
No, it's not just like that. But you can call home with video calls once a week and things.
And are they watching your data, or are you allowed to make as many calls as you want?
You're sharing the data with scientific experiments, so it's kind of managed. So there's a lot of good work done up there.
You must say at some point, hang the signs, I want to FaceTime my dog, right?
Well, because if on Earth you can get unlimited data from IONet, I don't know why you can't get it up there.
Yeah. Because you're closer to the satellite, right?
Yeah, you are. But yeah, there's incredible
Starlink,
science done up there that needs that data too.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.